Hello, all the peoples in the world, every boy and every girl. Just imagine if we could change the brotherhood.
Am I supposed to say anything after this?
No, I just realized that I was doing Safri Duo lyrics.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Yeah.
This is why you are on Akash and Friends.
I mean, it's so long since I heard those guys.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today I have a very good friend of mine, Balraj. Hello Balraj, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
This is not the first time we've done a podcast together.
No,
but the last time we had a Naveen.
Yes.
We had a Naveen that we got.
Wild Naveen?
The wild Naveen appears. No, dude. Ours is not a wild Naveen. Our Naveen is too refined to be a wild Naveen. You know?
I work with him more. I think he's way more wild. Dude. Or I think you're way more wild to actually believe that he's wilder than you.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Okay. But now this is different.
Yeah.
This is a different context. This is a way more intense. Yeah. How will we do this show, dude? हम नहीं कर पाएंगे ये episode. हम बकचोदी करेंगे last 15-20.
वही तो है.
वही तो है. I should stop pretending like this is a serious thing. At least.
Now I know why you said you're not as good a host.
Yeah, you see.
You're more conscious than your guests. Man.
I am the most conscious person on a podcast, especially my podcast.
Yeah.
In my head, I still feel like this should have some value, and you know.
Always.
Yeah, and then you are witness to my success, so you know that whenever I don't put effort into things, they become more successful. Like the chiller video was just like.
I think Akash, all your energy in this world is derived from something called as "मैं करके दिखाएगा."
No. I think it's, we both know the energy comes from a fact of मौत आ रही है.
Sudden moment of realization just dawned on me. Like Akash, stop dropping such bombs so casually.
There was, I think it was Kumar's birthday only, where you gave me the best accolade of my life.
Please remind me.
I am the voice in Balraj's head, which whenever something is going well, my voice is the
Not
voice.
well, generally.
Just in life also. Okay, in life also.
Yeah.
That comes ऐसा पीछे से and says, hey, this is all meaningless.
It comes like, yaar. Hey, what is this, yaar? And I'm like, Akash, why? Not now. Like,
I'm generally a cynical person. See, you're an optimistic person.
I've become more and more realistic over time. thanks to a few comics who are like, why do you want to be a hero all the time? I'm like, this is optimism. This is positive. No, that's being a hero.
Oh.
And I was just like, yeah, I think I should be more realistic.
Yeah, it should be second AD.
Like,
it's a way better position.
But I think that's my permanent position at Habitat.
Whether you want to or not.
I genuinely, at the end of my signature, I don't have anything. I just write Balraj. Everyone else in Habitat writes curator, sales and marketing, social media, videographer. I just write Balraj.
So that's it. It's like anything is wrong at Habitat, Balraj ko. I have texted you when not knowing also that you are in India. By the way, to give your context, Balraj owns and runs the Habitat. You remember that H logo that you keep saying? It'll come up now. Ding! That logo is Habitat's logo and he runs the Habitat. So
Not a helipad.
Yeah. Well, the way this city is going, it'll be easier to reach Habitat by helicopter than by train soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But no, there are too many cell towers. On top, there's no way. All those cell sites on top.
There was a time I remember when I was texting you about a spot or something.
Yeah.
And you were in US or something.
Yeah, was it 2 years back or last year?
No, it was 3 months ago.
September, yeah.
This is not new. It's not old. This is a new shit thing that I do.
There are too many times you've asked me for spots, bro. So I have to get context.
Every week.
No, that's Utkarsh asking me.
No, that's no legit date. See, I am not. That is a different conversation. What Utkarsh does is official Akash Mehta with a YouTube channel. This is sneaky comedian coming into green room saying, "Ek jan kam hai, mere ko do na 4 minute please."
This just happened last week,
Yeah.
right? You asked me for a spot. Samay on the other side like, Balraj, what do I tell Akash? I don't know how to deny him. The lineup is full. I'm like, let him reach the green room. If it's available, someone backs out, great.
Yeah.
He's like, but no one's backing out. What do I do? He was so stressed out.
Oh, no.
He was so stressed out. Bichara, 22-year-old. I don't know what
such
he's
a
going to
cute-
do. And
What do you mean? What is he going to do in life?
Exactly, because this was his dilemma in life right now. He stopped flirting with people. He's like, what do I do, man? This is a senior comic writer. He's helped me,
That's
you know.
so
and all.
stupid, though.
And it's sweet.
that's
Don't
the-
do that. Don't.
That's the worst. But I never do.
This
it
is
from
why
that
I'm
angle.
positive and you're negative. This is exactly for context,
Yes,
people.
yes, okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me put it. We're saying the same thing. It's adorable. You know, it's so nice. He's such a nice guy. All of that agreed. You know, but I mean, itna क्यों stress लेने का?
So anyways, he asked me and I was like, let him reach the green room at least. Like, let him be there. He's anyways hanging around all the time, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Samay was like, okay, cool. And I think you ended up doing spots on 2 shows that day.
Maybe.
Yeah, and you were not there on either of those lineups.
No comments.
But the difference here is people that the audience enjoyed. So that's why it's
yeah, when Aditi ke saath episode I told her that only. Ki, listen, I only like, you know, force my, or rather ask also for a last minute spot at a venue that I can sell out on another day.
I liked how you replaced the word force.
No, I'm lying if I've never done that with you where I'm like, Dekh Balraj, dena hai to de sakta hai. I've done that and I'm sorry.
No, the thing is, you've never forced your way through. You've asked me,
I've
you've
never
dropped
had
it, and you've actually seen it, what the status is at that point in time, if the audience is enjoying, not enjoying, and at that point in time, it's even more difficult for the host to deny because the host is like, I can't handle this shit right now. Akash, please save me.
And it feels nice also. Like the only time that doesn't seem to work is Tuesday open mics.
Yeah.
Because every time I talk to either Kashyap or Naveen or somebody at Habitat, I'm like, guys, please, charm it. You know me. I'm to wow, I will kill. Like every time I bomb horribly. And now I think the Tuesday hosts are happy about it because I go first. I absorb like 6 minutes of silence of just +1 staring at me going, ye idhar kyun hai? And then I said, now back to your host.
Yeah, I want to have a deeper conversation about that later, actually, about like how it's changed over there. But as far as forcing of spots is concerned, I actually don't know anyone else who's been as welcoming as you, or we being as welcoming about towards you when it comes to forcing of spots, because I mean, considering the history that we share,
I think I'm making up for the 2 years I was banned.
I've made it up, dude. I don't care.
No, I'm making up for that lost stage time.
You are making up. I don't think you can ever make up for it. No matter how much you try, I don't think you can ever make up, because I think the way times have changed over those 2 years, I think those 2 years have actually established comedy in Mumbai more than anything what the predecessors have done over 6 years.
Yeah, because I think this is, I think the reason for that is also very multifold.
It is,
you know, and I want to get into that in the second half with more details. But in the first half,
I like how we're building it up for these guys. What's more to come?
yeah, second half is great, guys. If you think this half is mediocre, you are correct. But the second half,
I'm really excited, guys.
last time I had you on a podcast, तेरा just शादी हुआ था.
Yes.
अब तेरे शादी को time हो गया.
Yes.
And
topic,
I think most comedians will agree that we prefer Chandni.
Yes. I also say that. Chandni and I agree that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that other comedians prefer her.
To have a conversation with her because she's way more interesting than me.
I don't think it's that. I think she's new, comparatively.
She's way more interesting.
No, she's new in our world. You know what I mean? Like,
see, so that's where I differ, because I genuinely feel
no, you're also new only.
that people look at me more from the angle of producer. Like there are these restrictions,
Right.
there are these things there are these lines that I can't cross.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, like I'm going to go a little senti right now, like just as a trigger warning for anyone out
This
there
is the
who's
whole
listening
point.
to this.
It's all feelings.
But you know, I recently I think I've discussed this with you as well. You have colleagues in any office and you get close to them, but I think when it comes to the comedy scene, there's no such thing as an office space. So it's very
there's
hard
no
to
such
define
thing as
those
a-
lines.
yeah.
There's none of those lines that are there. And I actually got into this somewhere I feel also to get more friends. And,
We all did. That's literally why all of us started.
Exactly.
This
And
whole
because
crew is
it's-
open micers for a reason.
And I mean, there are so many more interesting people out there to talk
Yeah.
to, etc. I don't think everyone wants to make friends in this field.
No.
But
Yeah.
I feel that, I mean, I've gone through a lot of changes in perspective after meeting a bunch of boisterous, just my thoughts are out there kind of people.
Yeah.
Who don't care a damn about who, is criticizing them, who's being judgmental with them or not.
Right.
And I feel that I belong to that kind of
Yeah.
people, So, when it comes to, colleagues and those kind of layers, I don't feel that those layers should exist. And they do exist somewhere or the other because
Yeah.
of what our backgrounds are. We've all worked in some corporate or the other, some office or the other. And you can be in denial, it's okay.
What?
But
Denial में facts का denial नहीं होता यार. Fact और denial, fact है, तू deny कर रहा है fact मेरा.
I'm sorry.
Libtard.
Proud to be one.
I always want to say that to someone. I never had the opportunity.
Proud to be a libtard.
I love you too.
So
RSS topi.
when it comes to people and when it comes to getting closer to people, over the last 1 year actually, after Habitat got established and then videos coming out and then you started with Akash and friends and all, I am coming to this space to actually have a genuine heart-to-heart conversation with him. Whereas
we could never have this conversation sitting in Habitat.
That's exactly what my point is.
Yes.
What a fuck.
Just for this, I had to get him all the way to Rajasthan just to tell me how he feels. It's either here or Kumar's birthday party.
Do you see any buses burning outside on the way?
No, not yet. What?
No, I think that's a common misconception.
About Rajasthan?
Yeah, I thought there are a lot of buses burning on the way to Rajasthan, right?
Oh, could be.
Okay.
Could be.
That's what I heard from
I thought it was trains passing through Rajasthan.
Oh, yeah, man.
Too much? ये दोस्ती हमें जेल ले जाएगी.
I think we're very much still in the grey area, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think there's I agree with you on the compartmentalization part of it, right? Because we all went through this. We all made a lot of friends initially. And then we realized, some of these people are best left colleagues.
Yeah, because you don't know how power is going to throw someone off.
Yeah, and how they change after they become bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just that also. I think it's also a relative of, a lot of the friends I made when I started out, I thought they were as interested in the specific things as I am, but I feel like a lot of them diverged in that sense also, right? So it's not so much that we were not compatible as people, it's just that we just want different things from our life, and then a friendship is difficult to sustain in that. To give an example, Dhruv Deshpande, he's coming on Akash and Friends. He's he's gone fully into comedy writing now.
Yeah.
So I rarely see him and then that friendship is very difficult to maintain now.
Correct.
Because you're already traveling and you're already, and that's where this friendship becomes easier as well between you and me, because at least you are predominantly in one city.
Chandni is way more interesting as a person.
But you're there and it's so nice though, but you do compartmentalize it very well. Because every time we have had discussions and it's not like we've not had fights or just heated discussions about shit. And it's never gotten into the way of us then doing Bhakchodi 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I mean, we've navigated our way around situations by getting other people involved as well. Ki nahi, tu ek kaam kar, tu baat kar le. Like you have this discussion, take it forward, close it out. And that's where managers are most essential as well. That's where, I mean, especially because otherwise relationships degenerate.
I completely agree.
Especially in today's time.
And it's not worth it. Like,
genuinely, not at all.
Like, at this point, if I've had a friend in this scene for 2 years, I'm going to try very hard to keep that friend. Because, office mein kitne hi log pasand aate yaar end mein. And managers, I agree, very important, unless they fucking bounce to Dehradun randomly for 9 days.
How do you define the office space in this industry? How do you define the office space?
So workplace, that's a great, because, when ICC was coming out, there was a huge argument around this only. What is a workspace for comics? Is it while you're on stage? Is it in the green room? And my thing has been, it's if we are meeting for work, if we end up discussing work, even for 5 minutes, then that 5 minutes is workspace.
Yeah.
Like I met you at Dulali.
Yeah.
We spoke about work for half an hour. That was the meeting. Now we need to hard change. Like I make it very clear to the person. Like abhi ho gaya kaam. Abhi main.
Yeah, correct.
You know that is very important. So because we don't have that luxury, right? Like abhi kal tu kisi ko lift mein milega, tu 15 minutes you'll end up talking shop in the lobby, and you've closed 3 dates for Habitat, and that's what. So that's work.
Yeah.
You can't blame. Yeah, it's 24/7, man.
Isn't it tiring?
Nah, I mean, if the I should ask you that, because you don't even get to go on stage at the end of all this.
Because stage doesn't give me gratification.
Yeah, and that's
where I would love to just remain behind the scenes, despite the number of people who've told me that you've got some great stories, you've got some great insights about people.
Darkest fucking.
And you should be on stage, and I just like to reserve those kind of thoughts with people who are boisterous enough. They can go ahead and quote me. I have no issues about that. But I wouldn't be the first one to go out there, because for me what matters is that I want the relationship to stay at the end of the day, which is why I would say a particular story.
But that's the reason why we go and say all these things on stage, because we want to maintain relationships in our life.
But you're not scouting for new relationships in the audience.
No, that's
not why you go on stage.
No, but I'm saying a lot of the times when I say something on stage, it's because I can't tell the person.
But is there anyone who you know who's or have you been through this enough number of times where you've become great friends with someone after you met them in the audience?
Met them in the audience.
Like they've come to watch a show, and then 2 years later, you guys are...
2 years, over the last 1.5 years, I would say there are about 15-20 people. In each city, there are 4-5 people who have been coming for all the shows.
No, but you're
Animesh, if you are watching this from Bangalore, man, thanks for the beanie. That's what I mean. It's that, मैं शादी पे जा रहा है 2 लोग के Feb में.
Great.
Yeah, I don't, I feel like a lot of people tell me not to do that. They say that you should always maintain that distance.
That's bullshit.
But I'm like, listen, I just told them how I felt when my grandmom died, dude. This is the least I should be getting is something from them.
Here's my wedding invite.
No, paisa. Paisa is the answer. You can take this back. I wish you would have invited when it was actually happening.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
To the reception. You have it in your WhatsApp.
Reception, yes. But wedding is different.
I mean...
That's okay. I would have come for the reception. I had a show that day. But not that these petty things matter to me.
What a way to make me feel bad, dude.
Yeah, no?
Call me, invite me separately to Jaipur all the way. Are we in Jaipur? I mean, these guys blindfolded me and got me here. Are we still in Jaipur?
You landed in Jaipur. That's where they... Oh, okay. Cool. Good job, guys. ये एक्चुअली है ना ex-ISIS वाले सर. तो ये लोग को आदत है ऐसा सर पे बैग डालने का. पर उनको 3 हफ्ता लगाया गैस का सर नहीं काटने को सिखाने के लिए. तो I mean, I'm honest. I mean, if you don't see Saurabh Ghosh anymore, I'm sorry. But before the episode only they cut his head. So I said, now what do I do? How to do Akash with partial friend? I think we should take a break at this point. I think things are getting weird right now. We should come back after a little bit. See you. There is a break now. Khush. My conversation with you is on those lines only. Clubs have come and gone. Okay, venues. If I go back in my memory, how many venues that were there when I started are still there? 0. In Bombay, 0. The only venues that were still there are there. Summer House recently shut down, stopped doing comedy. Akshara Theatre used to do comedy then, still does comedy now. But that's a theatre venue that was there before comedy and will be there after comedy.
Right.
Habitat, or rather Tuning Fork,
right.
In its now current Habitat avatar, is the only thing that's managed to be a sustainable venue for comedy in a market where venues are shutting left, right and center, in a situation where we are held hostage by the fact that if we don't have YouTube videos as comics, we can't succeed. You're feeling, it's, you know what I mean? Now, in the last 1 year, you're not a venue. You have to admit, you're an institution.
So, firstly, when it comes to... sorry, this is just distracting.
What is it?
This is just your sock was stuck in your...
Oh no, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
It would look
you like
very
the
weird.
socks though?
Yeah, it's very cool, man. Very cool. Even I'm a fan of socks. I
love it.
Yeah, man.
A nice fan. Make out later?
Yeah, done, dude. We'll give one sock to each other.
So...
We'll just be sock puppets and...
वो भी बोलेगा चांदनी is more interesting.
तीसरा सॉन्ग आके बोलेगा जाए.
If you didn't get that joke, watch the first half now.
Very important. So, Tuning Folk actually shut down because of financial issues.
Right.
And it's very important to state that because we were running at a very bad loss. There were a certain hits that happened to the market. And
Demonetization happened.
And
was that during?
not just demonetization, like otherwise as well, because those kinds of impact have a direct effect on your ticket sales.
Absolutely.
And you might have seen that as well, like where in your shows during or around that time, it was bad. Like weddings were getting cancelled.
Yeah.
And weddings don't get cancelled.
Yeah.
Venues were being shifted. People were going back from a wedding venue back to their own house, and to complete everything else, And despite having invited 200, 300 guests from abroad, etc.
No,
so, especially when it comes down to us, if it's trickling down to us, no one's going to get out during that period to enjoy or have fun, apart from getting out for a drink.
Yeah.
Live entertainment eventually at that point in time became the last preference for someone to go for.
Yeah.
The only thing that succeeded at that point in time were the poetry open mics, because people wanted to come and be more vocal about what's going on.
Yeah, and be more sad.
And
because what I like, the question that comes to me is then what was the logic, like what was the model when Tuning Folk started, and how does that model then translate into Habitat today?
So Tuning Folk was multifaceted. It started off purely for as a result for musicians, indie artists to come together and find a place where they could jam, they could perform. They didn't have to call people to their house. They didn't have to worry about what the technicals were.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if the perspective was to be able to allow them to record live on multi-tracks in a 3-cam setup. It eventually became that over a span of 4 months since we started off.
It's the studios.
We had a separate studio space which was still there. And
this is now popularly known as the Green Room.
Yes. And see how times have changed. So that studio space was actually used also as a drum booth.
Yeah, I remember when Shashwat was the drummer used to always.
Yes.
And I thought that was quite hilarious.
Because it was a fish tank.
No, and unless you had a tight drummer, you just had either had a great drummer or a confused as fuck drummer. Because even with the headphones, they would be like drumming and looking like this from inside.
Exactly. I mean, despite them getting their in-ears, and it's such a nice space to actually drum in.
Yeah.
There were very opposite reactions.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And there were very polar opposite responses to that. Either someone's like, I don't want to play anywhere else. This is the best way to perform. Or the other person's like, no, I don't. I want to be in the center of the band. That's it. So, I mean, it's a difference of live monitoring and in-ears, and that's a personal preference for people. Like, it's like someone enjoying music on speakers or someone enjoying music in headphones.
I come from a college band background. So, my job as drummer was to ignore everybody else. तू बीट चालू किया है ना, गाना खत्म होएगा, तब तक बीट पकड़ के बजा. बाकी लोग आगे पीछे जाएगा, कुछ भी होगा.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. So, the whole model was if someone comes and performs over there, their food and beverages on the house, of course.
Right.
They get their recordings. From those recordings, also for the duration at which they've performed, they can also come back and record in the studio space. So if, for example, someone's fumbled up, as you said, like on the guitar, they can come and track the guitar again.
Yeah.
And that becomes a really nice video for them to be as a demo, to put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And YouTube was still in its nascent stage at that point in time. You could still say that
Pre-Geo.
for a lot of... Exactly. I mean, that's why it's nascent.
Really it is, yeah.
And there weren't as many artists that are there. Savan was also not big at that point in time. Ghana wasn't there at that point in time. They were just entering the market. And which is why artists wanted to be at the forefront at that point in time. So we entered at a very comfortable spot. Blue Frog was there at that point in time as well. And our biggest worry was that most of the artists were going to be using us as a stepping stone. So we need to give them enough amount of facilities, enough reasons to come back over here so that they
Once
don't
they are
just...
famous.
Exactly. So that they don't just see this as a good memory. They keep coming back over here and use this space as an institution.
Yeah.
over time, what happened for the first 3-4 months, our F&B sales were really good. Our F&B sales were what we were depending on for.
And this was predominantly with music programming.
Yes.
Yeah, music programming tends to promote also alcohol sale,
We just
food
had
sale.
poetry on Mondays. That's what we started off. There was about 7 or 8 people that came in. And when it came to comedy, didn't exist. We had just got in touch with Adar at that point in time. And Adar was supposed to do a show in April, I believe.
Okay.
And we had started off in end of Feb.
Yeah.
So in April, around the time when during that time we had on Monday poetry, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday artists coming in.
You had
to perform.
Thursday. Manik was running
No,
Thursdays, no?
not yet.
Oh.
This is before that.
Okay.
So when Adar was going to do a show in April, just 2 weeks before that show happened, I think Kashyap has had a word with Chandni about getting in touch with me, and it eventually became a race.
I don't know.
Because Manik came and met me at the studio, and I was like, okay, let's start it off. And Manik told me he had come
That same
down.
week,
Yes.
one of your dad's friends
Yes.
messaged my dad.
Yeah.
Saying Guy's son has I remember the exact message my dad forwarded to me. He said, Guy's son has new venue for comedy. Your son tells joke. Tell him to go tell jokes there.
Is this called nepotism?
It's called networking, my friend. If it was nepotism, then I would never have been banned.
This is netopism. There's a difference. So Manik came, we had a discussion, and I was like, okay, yeah, next Thursday's free, you can go for it. And Manik was like, instantly, he drew up a lineup, and he's like, I want to have the first show of comedy in this venue.
Yeah.
And that actually happened. That was the first Thursday open mic that ever happened. It was a good lineup, and I think you had also had a spot, or you didn't have a spot. You had asked for a spot at that point in time, and you came in and did on a Friday.
No. So I came in on the next Thursday for my spot.
Because I remember the first Thursday, Kunal Kamra was there, Karanesh was there, Kashyap was there, you were there, Manik was there, and I still have that photo where everyone is outside in that small foyer area, which is the host desk, and there's a photo of everyone over there.
Okay, I was definitely not there for the show.
You were there in that photo,
yeah?
though.
Ho sakta hai.
Yeah.
The next week, I didn't have a spot on Thursday, and I happened to come to have a drink with a date.
And during that time, there were these two artists who had basically said that we are coming here every Friday. And
Gaurav and
yes,
I forget the other guy's name, but Gaurav still is a piece in my heart, dude. If you're around and still doing voiceovers, get in touch, bro.
He's doing a lot more than voiceovers.
Angelic voice Gaurav had.
He has an amazing voice. He's done a lot of ad work as well, and I still remember he sang that song from Jungle Book. He also did Sheila Ki Jawani, remember?
Yeah, did he?
He did, and it sounded so different, and we were like, what is this westernized jazz version of Sheila Ki Jawani which is just coming on?
He ended his set with Hallelujah.
Yes.
And I remember the first joke, because I had just said, can I do 5 after? And obviously that became 45, but in the beginning I'm literally saying कि यार ये Hallelujah गा के गया, अब मेरे को लंड बोलने गया. Like, do you understand how difficult you just made my job? So that was a great show. Anyway, so back then comedy was just one night. That's the story we are focusing on this time.
Right. And you at that point in time, like I think 3-4 months later, you also started off anti-social.
May that month.
So between this, when this entire transition was happening, Blue Frog shut down.
Yeah.
That was a major blow. Anti became like a huge thing.
And y'all started something magical.
Yes. Please remind me.
Utkarsh, you remember what I'm talking about? Utkarsh is my manager, he's sitting in the back. You remember what we're talking about? The most amazing thing about Habitat used to be what? About music gigs at Habitat? Yeah, what was the best thing about gigs there? Come on, guys, how do you not? Exactly!
So, Above the Habitat started a year later.
Khud kadaru, khud kadaru.
So, Above the Habitat started a year after that. That year was like a major year for us, this 2016 period, till end of 2016, because it was 2016, September, October, when entire this whole season of Ganpati, Diwali, like people don't get out, monsoons, that was like a major breakpoint for us. Our sales dipped really low, and that's where we realized that F&B sales and ticket shares and anything based around the current model does not work.
Right.
We celebrated 100 gigs in September. Imagine that. We celebrated 100 different music artists in September with Tejas.
Wow.
And Tejas and Mali. And imagine Aditi Ramesh started there. I mean, there are so many artists who've just started
Shashwat
off over
Guru
there.
went through there.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, and yeah.
So for music, it was a great movement that happened. May started coming over there, and May was like, I need to do this podcast as well. And then she did the whole series live with Blackstrat at
this thing,
Antisocial. And
Made in India, the first big one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after that, in
Memories.
February, March is when my partner and I, we
That's
had
a
this...
year into it now.
Yeah, a year into it, we took this call that, you know what, like, either we need to spread out into other cities or get another investor or do something about this because we cannot support this by ourselves.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a double blow at that point in time because it technically, I've taken that space up from
On
my
rent.
dad.
Yeah, it's on rent though.
As far as, to be honest, we looked at rent as an opportunity cost because my dad was gracious enough to be like, you know, like I want to give this concept a test out. Let it run for a year and a half, 2 years, because we've been through the cycle of restaurants for the last 20 years, and we've seen how quickly restaurants change hands, they fail, and sometimes a certain concept just needs a little more time for it to become a proof of concept, right? And at that time, my partner's father also gave a very strict deadline, said that, you know what, after March, if you guys are by yourself, you guys are by yourself. We've supported you for a year.
Accent में बताया तेरे को?
हाँ जी?
नहीं ऐसा तो yourself कर दिया तू एक line के लिए. Uncle accent में बोले थे इसलिए.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my head.
It's in your head. No, that's why I pictured it.
It's a very strong memory.
Like that's why I just acknowledged it.
And it's not just him. Both him and my dad like came. They said that our sons are failing. It was like that, straight up over there. So then we still try to work out a different method because I got back from abroad at that point in time and I had this idea that we need a larger space. We need to have a space which seats at least 150 people. We need a space that is, and we've established ourselves so well. By that time, Aranya's video was out, it went viral. Blood Brown Girl's Guide to Gender. Karanesh's video was out, went viral. Rahul Subramanian, Kunal Kamra, and
Abhishek was still left then.
Abhishek Upmanyu, and who else was there? I think
Abhishek ka canvas ka video aaya tha tabhi.
Yes, and I mean our team itself, like Nanak and these guys, we formed a very solid team that was going and recording in other venues as well.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's what's during that time only Karan Asnani was recording. He was the other option for people, and people were like, you know what, like let's discover more people, let's work with more people because we can eventually have things our particular way, in our particular manner. And Abhishek Upmanyu's video then came out, and that became like a legendary thing online. That and it became like a thing that this is the actual extent at which comedy exists today. This is the comedy market, because that's when people discovered that, oh, there are so many people who can watch it. YouTube is so big, and this is not even when Jio's come out. This is still pre-Jio.
Yeah.
And
Jio was 2017.
16 end, I think. 16 end. So no, it's 2017. 17 end. After Paytm happened. This was post Paytm. So 2017 May, June is when Above the Habitat was established, and our first gig was in September. Abhishek Upmanyu did the first gig over there on 9th September. And then after that, we had the BYOB gigs. And the BYOB gigs that were there.
इधर animation आ रहा दारू का, रुक एक second.
Yeah. BYOB bitch.
Nahalo.
And the whole concept behind BYOB was that we had had enough parties between friends of ours who are like, you know, those +1 kinds of scene, like just get your friends and come home, etc. It's a BYOB scene. We never saw anyone puke. So we were like, this is the best thing to do. People are still in control.
Yeah.
People will pay full attention to the artist. People are just there because they have whatever money they're spending, they know for a fact is going directly to the artist.
Right.
And our thing with the artist was that whatever ticket sales are there, we are just putting it towards cost, which would be as low as something like 15,000 rupees. A gig space, which is as big as 2,000 square feet, with stage monitors, all speakers possible. Your
Great board.
nappy, you have a drum shield, you have your drum kit,
Yeah.
you have all your mics in place. The only thing that's left to come is your amplifiers, the back end,
Your boards
and the board is also there.
your
We
guitar
have our,
boards.
okay, yeah, and those basically you can get on rent from any equipment supplier.
Yeah.
That was the bulk of the cost.
Yeah.
Of that 15,000 rupees, that was the bulk of the cost. That would be anywhere between 8 to 10,000 rupees, depending on the amplifiers or in-ear someone needs.
Sure.
And that series of gigs actually was what I see as an investment into the
Yeah.
space, because prior to this, we had banquet spaces, but I saw that they always failed. They never ran unless it was something like we started giving it out to Arsenal fans. And that's what actually keeps the ball
To
rolling.
give it to a community as opposed to an individual.
Yes. And that's when people are actually looking after each other, they're looking out for each other. And that's when our audio team also started developing further, our video team started developing further,
Yeah.
because they started covering all of these gigs.
Yeah.
And that's when we were like, okay, we need to further invest into this space. We need to get more speakers.
We got more cameras.
And Son of a Beast started over there. Son of a Beast
Right.
shifted from Worli for season 3, and
Yeah.
they came to us. And that is what has actually kept us afloat. Shoots like Son of a Beast, all the Amazon Prime
So now we're talking
shoots.
the shoots happening in above the habitat, as
Because one
opposed
shoot-
to all the live, all the videos, all the effort.
Because first floor space, which is the habitat space, is not, or at that point in time was not viable by itself at all. I was just putting in more money into it, and I flipped the entire financial scenario from ticket sales and rev share to rent. If you
Yeah,
recall,
yeah.
I said that okay, if you want to perform here, you can take the space for like 4,000 rupees per hour at
Yeah.
that point in time. And I was like, your ticket sales are based on you. Or I said that if your tickets are priced like between 200 and 250 rupees or under,
Yeah,
then
there's a gate
4,000.
share.
If it's 300 above, then because I said that I am not going into the concept of risking myself and putting my foot out there right now, because I am.
You can't anymore. You already did that for 2 years.
I did that for a year and a half,
Yeah.
and I was like, if I need to go back to the music scene right now.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, it was like I have to literally divide my energy between poetry, comedy, and music. And luckily, by then, poetry had reached this what do you call that? Mass. It had reached that critical mass stage where it didn't matter where we put it was just a very good stage for people to come and voice their opinions out,
Yeah.
voice their pieces out. And we had created a YouTube channel by then. We had crossed 100,000 subscribers.
I think the
We had-
brand value of the logo. That's why Akash and Friends, the show happens at Habitat. Because for
Yes.
so many comics who come from other cities, they might have a video up already, but it's not a video at Habitat, and that makes a huge difference because it's an association to the core consumer at the end also. Okay, I'm at least gonna watch this because I know it's like that's what I'm saying. It's an institution. It's a thappa now. It's not just a venue now.
And for me personally, I still don't see it as that. Like, people are coming from abroad right now and are like, oh, this is the only club that is there that I know of.
Yeah.
Because I can see it online, I can see it here, I can see it there. It has its things in order. But I still don't believe I still don't understand why. Because for me, the branding of the Habitat, despite it being as much out there as possible behind every single comic, I still feel that it's the artist at the end of the day who's making that brand. It's the artist who's the brand. It's not like...
Yeah, but I don't. You're missing the point. I sorry, but like,
Please,
well,
please,
that's
please.
how we
I
always talk.
it's
I don't know
great to
why I'm being
understand.
fucking weird with you.
You should be, because I think this is a heart-to-heart conversation that we're having.
You're missing the point entirely. Ki it's not about whether my video has Habitat ka logo. Okay, and by the way, to give you an example, in my second batch of videos, the one video that was shot at Square and not at TCC or at Canvas never did as well. It had nothing to do with the jokes. It's a thumbnail issue. And for comics who are... No, I'm not kidding.
There was a comic from Delhi who
wish I
asked
was
me
kidding.
that I've recorded over here in Delhi, etc. But I want to put the thumbnail of the Habitat. Can I do that? And I was like, please, by all means.
Because it'll make a difference. And that's undeniable, inequivocal, mathematical
I get you.
fact. You can't change that fact. And I think that's where the brand value really exists. But it's interesting to me that to fund that, you still need to do that. Because if above doesn't shoot, then you're saying habitat is not in itself.
So, which is why I come back to the point that for us at one point in time, what was the opportunity cost of rent?
Yeah.
Which would be at that point in time 2 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
For a 650 square foot space.
Yeah.
On that particular road.
Commercial with kitchen.
Exactly. And that's just the rent. Then comes the salaries, then comes the food cost, then comes the alcohol
overhead.
cost, then comes electricity, then comes property tax. It's just, then comes
Yeah.
licensing. You know, it's just a plethora of negativity over there that you have to go down. So, when it comes to the opportunity cost that we were losing out on, which was the rent aspect at that point in time, which was not being paid by the establishment to the parent organization, that's where I had to basically pitch this as an idea to my father that, okay, this is a space, this is what happens. And at the end of the day, he saw it as that, okay, I'm giving out this particular space, which was our banquet hall at that point in time, to another outlet. So the hotel needs another banquet space. So at the end of the day, if this develops, it's great for the hotel as well.
Yeah.
And that's where things actually came into the picture.
Right.
Had someone at that point in time not being taken that space on rent, this would not have happened.
Right.
So coincidentally, because that happened, this happened. And this also, this space, if this at one point in time, it started coming back. The funds started coming back to us, you could say, or rather it broke even in, so that was June, July, August, September 2016. Sorry, 2017.
CA के बच्चों को ये सब बहुत
September
अच्छे से याद रहता है.
September 2017, we actually made it back in March 2018.
एकदम as the financial year ended. Papa खुश तू भी खुश.
And exactly,
है ना?
because Son of a Beach happened, and that's where I was like, you know, I'm really thankful to all the artists out there because they were looking at me as, like, everyone who's come and shot there. Saurabh Pant shot there at one point. He shot this one thing called Rant of the Pant, which is there on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's interviewed 2 people over there from the political world. And that's where I understood the value of shoots. Because Son of a Beach happened, they told me that because you are there as the one point contact yourself, as the owner of the space, there are so many decisions which are split second and that are happening. So, which is why we are able to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And they said it point blank. They said that if you are not here, this is not happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I need to be here for another year. And
so then, wait, what was the plan otherwise?
So the plan was we were going full-fledged experimental. There was
I'm
no
saying,
plan in place
when you
that
said-
1 year down or 2 years. It was just that I need to do comedy, I need to do music, I need to do poetry, I need to do the same format of events that are happening on the ground floor, on the first floor, as that are happening on the 4th floor.
Right.
So that I can actually test and see and experiment what is the actual financials behind sales for tickets. Because this was not a model to test that out at all.
Right.
You needed to have volume especially because you own the space and you need to recover that opportunity cost, which you are losing out on.
Yeah.
Over time, obviously, there were better people who joined us and learned and grew with us. And because of that as well, I mean, the industry, this entire indie space is very interesting to be in. That's why all of us are in it. And it also ends up eventually attracting a lot more smart people.
Yeah.
I have to say that because I don't know people who are as sharp, who are as much thinking on their feet instantly.
Generally, jugaaduness.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of application that is there instantly or instantaneously is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you going. That okay, that's what gives you the ability and the freedom to be like, I want to experiment more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would not be possible.
Yeah.
Not in a rigid system that, oh no, this guy can only look after this and this guy can only look after this and she can only do that. It does not work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at someone at the host counter, traditionally, someone would say, no, there are drunk people over here, we need bouncers, etc. But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
As a producer, you're like, we need a human being.
Yeah. We need a guy. It's just any guy, girl, doesn't matter.
We need a human being over there.
Bag of meat that can look at a list and take it.
And there are so many times that they have saved scenarios where people are like, how can someone say like this? How? And that person's like, listen, like there's a show, there's a recording happening inside. Okay, let's go down and talk. Let's have this conversation down. I mean, you don't need to be a student of hospitality to do this.
I don't think you need a bouncer is often the wrong person to do that. Because a conversation,
opposite.
a conversation would have solved it, but a bouncer hasn't been taught conversation. A bouncer's training is to bounce a person off of them, right?
Yeah.
कैसा उड़ के जाता है वो लड़का आगे. So that's obviously the case. But the another thing is that like what I think, what I take away from this for the most part is the fact that it's about being part of a community as opposed to just being a service provider.
Yes. So when people said that no, it's because of you who are there, they also saw me as someone who's efficient at being able to manage that particular community or people around them. Like for example, thanks to Son of a Beach, I mean that entire world was open to we can shoot here.
Yeah.
And people started shooting more and more. There were all of these Prime Video specials being recorded over there.
Yeah. How many so far, if we may have a quick count, if you were just to off the top of your head?
There are at least 8.
Right? And Amazon card.
Amazon card.
Or alag se Danny ka...
Son of a Beach season 3 to 7 has happened over there. 4 seasons.
This Danny ka special is Habitat.
So that was another major milestone for us.
Because you went from being a venue to a studio.
Yes. Like we went from just production of the front end to the entire back end and the entire right up till the release.
Yeah.
Like from full editing and till then we were like we were slowly inching in. We did sound. We started doing video editing. We got more equipment. We had to.
So you upgraded your cameras. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, seriously, this guy and his entire team are one of the reasons why we are able to actually say that the Habitat is also successful because. What was our reason for doing comedy and where we were getting demotivated, this guy actually lifted it up again. Like he started another room, he started working with other brands, he started his own podcast. He's by far the most multifaceted comic that I have come across in the last 2 years of my life.
Wait, everyone is so... Thanks, yaar. That's nice, dude.
Let's bring out the socks.
I don't even have a joke now. Shit. Ouch. Thanks.
Like,
wow.
I know this is heart to heart.
But it's so interesting because I feel, on one hand, I feel like this sense of dread. Then are we saying that for the next 5 years at least, it's not going to be possible to run a club as just a club?
No, you can't.
You can't, right?
Not in this country.
Not in this economy, not in this market. You have to have another way of making money. Did you think of it this way? No, because your Habitat obviously is the worst thing that happens in my life. I don't know if you know this. Is when I come to Habitat in the afternoon and it's booked, and I get so upset. How dare they take away my afternoon lunch place? And then I storm off across into the dorm and I'm all red and shaking like, who are these fucking... And then I realize it's Jaspreet or someone and I feel bad because I'm like, oh shit, it's Jaspreet, it's cool. But how much of that has really contributed to it? Do you think that the model of diversifying who you rent out to helps?
So it's not always that you're renting out. Like currently the model is that for artists who are doing podcasts, the model is that for the first 3 sessions or 6 hours, you could say, the venue rent is not applicable.
Okay.
Because our whole perspective that if you do not grow and you are not able to make room for growth for yourself, then I have already nipped you in the bud. I cannot expect that I am going to grow. This is the entire scene over the last 3 years that I've seen is purely symbiotic. I mean, it's like, for example, you saw that, the Habitat logo is working for you. And you were like, okay, let's do Akash Mehta and Friends over here.
Akash and Friends, Habitat, because honestly, it's the most consistently produced room. See, for me, it was like, when we spoke about it initially also, what I said is, dude, I want to do something that fucking breaks this market. Like, I want to do disruption. And like, over the last 1 year, about 45, 46 videos that have come out, the disruption is possible because I have a consistent partner in crime. You know what I mean? मेरा lineup ऊपर नीचे जाएगा, ticket sales तो चलो खैर बिक ही जाते हैं end में, but you know, like the lineup, anything can go anywhere. But like I know that this end of, it's like when you're batting, dude. Like it's like I feel like you're batting with tail-enders. So I feel like the tail-ender. I'm like, यार, बलराज है ना दूसरे side पे.
I don't know what tail-enders are.
Hey, nice. Thanks for watching, guys.
Promote CPC.
Basically,
I don't understand what tail end is. What are
it's
tail ends?
essentially when all the batsmen have been out, तो एक बैट्समैन टिक जाता है, बाकी सामने वाला बॉलर ही आ रहा है बार-बार. After number 6 विकेट के बाद तो सब बॉलर आता है ना. तो it's like the bowler might not be sure of his batting, but he knows कि सामने के साइड जो बंदा है वो अपना एंड से वो देख लेगा. So then my concern becomes like 20%, right?
Yeah.
Earlier I
Of
was
course.
like coordinating so many things. Now, and obviously what you said, managers, lifesavers. If you can find an effective manager and if he doesn't keep going to Dehradun, then there is sorry, but there is like a sense of habitat पे ना तो मेरे को ये 4 चीज का टेंशन नहीं है अभी लाइफ में.
That's
Sound, camera,
that's what
somebody
we
at the
set out
door.
to imagine. That's what he set out to be for the music scene.
Exactly.
And it became such a good model for the comedy scene that the comedy scene is like, isko chodo mat. Like just let it remain over there.
Yeah.
And where you guys came in is where, because of you guys also, so people keep learning. The video team keeps learning. The audio team keeps learning. Because of the number of times that you guys have shot, the video team has got more solid. The audio team has got more solid. The host count has got more solid. Like everything gets more and more, and that's why I say it's symbiotic.
Yeah.
Because all you guys have to worry about is now the edit.
Yeah, and more importantly, I think one thing you're missing is the price points at which you're working, which are the best. And this is coming from me, who is constantly upset with you about how much you charge me, which I still am, by the way. But
it's your right to be, you're the consumer.
It's always supposed to be that way. But I feel like
you're parting away with some money. You are going to be.
But I think the smart trade-off on your end is ki you are saying ki, hey, I'll charge you a little less, but let's be honest, they're also learning. You're getting paid to teach your staff, which is a very rare thing.
No, so for us, for example, it's a direct trade-off where we purchase all the equipment.
Yeah.
And the guys who are coming in, we're like, okay, you have to have this much level of skill.
Yeah.
Right? They're semi-skilled.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone is fully skilled at any point in time unless you're 65, 70 years old and you've covered the entire...
Even I think then you'll still because then technology will move ahead of you.
Exactly. So over here, when it comes to people learning, I mean, Vivian, for example, at one point in time, he was just handling creative. He was just making creatives for us. Today, he is editing out the specials as well.
Yeah.
He's shooting as well.
Yeah.
And there is no bigger advantage than someone who shot the video to also be editing
the video.
Right? So there's so much lesser that you as an artist have to explain, number one. Number two, you get a better perspective, a third party perspective, that you're like, no, like this action came out from this angle better.
Yeah.
And thirdly, you are sure that this person is at least this level of sound.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that, okay, this person, you don't need to argue with this person. You're like, okay, you've made your point. That's it. Okay, fine. I need to move out from here right now.
Yeah.
And that's when decisions happen quickly.
No, yeah, definitely. I think it's
Otherwise,
also,
decisions are just stuck.
plus, I think I like your way of solving problems also, because you will just be, hey, phone kar mere ko yaar.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so much easier to just, okay, main aa raha hai. Then we just meet at Habitat and then it's done. Like, and you suddenly realize that this 2 weeks of coordination was pointless because all it was a 7-minute conversation that we have been trying to use fucking WhatsApp to try and get this across to each other. जो अब से हो नहीं रहा है,
Yeah, that's how the weekend came into place.
Yeah. You have another one coming up. Huh?
Great, please do it.
Yeah, in fact,
you've done how many shows of Akash Mehta and Friends in the last 1 year?
15, 16, 2 a month. No, oh no, quite a few I've done.
Exactly.
Actually,
You've done some. There's some you've done like you had like 4 shows in a weekend also.
That was this one, no?
No, you've done like 2 shows in a weekend also. You've done two shows
Every
back to
time
back.
is 2. Every time is 2. This time was 8.
One weekend you did twice, yeah. There was
2
one
days.
Weekend, 2 days you did.
2 days, one show.
Acha, that was one show.
But the idea was the measure of success for Akash and Friends, the live show, is how many videos come out of it. For me personally, because the idea was never to sell tickets, because the ticket revenue goes into the rent and the camera and the edit and everything. Anyway. So it's nothing that's gonna make me money. It's just about how much.
No, but see, at the end of the day, as a comic yourself, it's one thing that you are putting your face so that your audience also comes in. That's one aspect.
Yeah.
But on the other side, when it comes to something like the financials, the way our financials are, it's on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we've purchased the equipment, and the only charge that you're getting is for the person who's standing, the operator, which is human labor, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to pay for the tripods, the memory cards, the batteries, the cameras, the extra chargers, whatever.
Yeah.
A to Z.
Tell me about it. I've come till Rajasthan to get it for fucking free.
It's difficult, but you have to find your way through it, right? And when it comes to something like organizing this entire community of people so that they come on your show
of creativity.
If that's how you see it, it's fine. But when
everyone's fucking everyone over.
Isn't that what we are as people? The entire planet. So
if we had a theme song, it would be like "Aa gaya comic, milkar bolo fuck all hai."
Comic. So when it comes to this entire orgy of people that you handle so effectively, they eventually, like, you've worked out a model with these guys so that they basically are paying you so that these finances get covered. No one, or rather, there's just a handful of people from this entire group who directly approach us and say that, hey, you know what, Balraj, I want to do my own show. I will get 2 of my own people. And that is what has led to another property called as Comedy Recording Night, for example. Comedy Triad existed in the middle, where we were like, hey, okay, you guys are doing this, we'll do Comedy Triad side by side, where there are
Which
other
was
comics.
a very good time for me because I could at least like divert some of the people to you.
And the better thing was that both of us could gauge who's actually doing well in front of the camera. Who's doing well in front of the camera? Because that's another third thing.
Exactly.
Because you can't keep spending.
And the idea, but I think the real revolution here is also the fact that you're giving free tapes. Canvas used to charge us 300 rupees just to get the tape of us performing. And now we can at least get that reference footage same night.
Like what we did for the musicians, we started doing for the comics again. Like it was just a matter of being like, okay, let's do it for these guys. And I was like, okay, whatever ticket sales comes to me, and in return I was giving comics their tapes. And there were shows which didn't do well at all. There were less than 5 tickets sold on a Friday night, 9 p.m. There were shows that were packed. And that was purely because, again, people like Abish, Kaniz, all of these guys, they actually got out and they were like, hey man, I'm ready to come on this show because
we need to pull
crowd, And that's where the community aspect ties in. But when comics are paying you for Akash Mehta and Friends, how do you go about that? Do you really like try to just cover the funds, or do you cover other aspects of production, which would be creative, which could be paying your staff, which could be paying people who are... I mean, because there are other costs attached as well. So that was one thing I wanted to understand.
I bear that myself completely. The comics only pay for their flight and the video recording cost. And until recently, the rent. I think I have a hack around the rent also. I think
that's exactly what I'm trying to.
But that's it. Just the shooting and the rent and the boost post and creatives, everything I would make
because
myself.
Like for example, we have been able to increase our rent and make it viable because of you. And that's where I want to understand like how it impacts the final user, who is the next comic who's coming to record.
Because for me, the logic was if I remove all the obstacles, then it doesn't make sense. This is not me saying, hey, tu funny hai, main tera godfather banega, main tera video da. This is not that. This is fucking 40 people have told me this comic, why does this comic not have a video yet? I have seen you 40 times and said, why do you not have a video yet? And if the answer is that I live in Orissa, that's not a good enough answer for me. So then fucking fly down. But the only difference is when you pay for the flight and the recording yourself, you as a comic are way more invested about that. So I always tell people, if you don't want to put on YouTube, if you just want to try out, don't come to Akash and Friends and try out. Try out somewhere. तेरा 2 कैमरा लगा, फोन के कैमरा से भी तेरे को एंगल का आइडिया तो आ जाता है.
It's amazing how this field did not exist.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And now it's become a full-fledged institution. That how there are people in place who are learning. There are people in place who are taking out videos and more videos of people. There are people in place who are coming down to just record themselves just so they can sell out shows. And like for example, there's that guy. I mean, how do you even gauge if someone's going to sell tickets today based on the number of views?
You can't. There was a time.
And isn't that the new problem now?
I feel like the problem is that you are trying to find a correlation where there was none earlier. Earlier it used to feel like जितना लोग देख रहा है उतना लोग आता है because उतना लोग नहीं देखता था. और जो लोग देखता था वो तुम्हारे सर्कल्स में ही देखता था और it was in your urban centers. Now the population is so much larger that one might fall into the delusion that one has a larger audience than one thinks. And sometimes one has a larger audience, but I can't reach it. Like I would love to do, I have audience in Gorakhpur. I know I have an audience in Gorakhpur. People message me saying come to Gorakhpur. The gap is in knowing where the views are coming from.
See, today, for example, you might say that comedy is at the center of your career and everything is around it. 10 years down, you might be a great podcaster.
Yeah.
You might be a great talk show host.
God
you
forbid.
You might be a great, like, you might have your own show with, as Shekhar Suman. I don't know. But...
I get to play Shekhar Suman?
Could be, like, symbiotic and all. So, the reason why you are doing everything around comedy is so that you can reach audiences in a different way. And am I right to say that? Like, that you are able to reach audiences in a different way and they are able to see a different side of you so that they relate to you more and are like, okay, like this guy's another interesting individual as well, not just a comic.
I mean, my personal motivations are very skewed that way because I'm very obsessive about joke writing. So for me, the whole goal of all of life right now is writing better jokes. So I feel like all my experiences around that are facilitating the writing of better jokes. Like if I want better comics to come out into the scene, it's because that helps me write better jokes because that means the competition is that much harder.
Okay.
The average standard goes up. So I purely, like I found a way to justify all the things I do from that point of view. Why do I go to family functions? Better joke writing, you know?
I mean, yeah, there's no end to that.
But the going across formats is something that is, I think it also comes inherently. Like that's what I was saying in the Punitwala podcast a couple of months ago. Ki if I don't do anything, I'll kill myself. I will straight up kill myself because I'll be so bored with nothing to do in the day, you know?
So, I mean, where I was coming from was that because you have to do all of those other things, if comedy was flourishing, if comedy was, ticket sales were great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, just when comedy started out in this country, for example, when Comedy Store came down, and, you know, like, comedy was like, hey, artists are being paid really well, people are being flown down, they're staying in 5-star hotels. It was like every aspect of glamour was around it.
पहले तो हो रहा था, हाँ.
And, I mean, it is not there today. That aspect is not there. I mean,
market correction.
That's what. So, you have to do all of these things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd just be selling tickets and you'd be going on tours.
No, I think it's also, otherwise, I wouldn't be a fully formed human being.
So then, I mean, what's the difference between, between a comic who's doing all of these things and putting out all of these things on YouTube and a YouTuber?
I'll tell you the difference between a comic and a YouTuber. YouTuber.
Like, because any of these guys, like Mostly Sane and Bhuvan Bam, like Bhuvan Bam is already on one mic stand, for example. Mostly Sane could enter at any point in time. Whenever she's at YouTube festival, I mean, she's doing jokes as well. So, what's the difference between her, like if suppose now she's gotten into joke writing full-fledged, she's also a comic.
Yeah.
What's the difference between you and a YouTuber then? Because you have enough content around stuff.
आप पहले chronology समझिए.
समझाइए.
पहले jokes बोलना शुरू किया.
हाँ जी.
फिर ये सब incidental है. वो लोग ने पहले वो सब करना शुरू किया और joke incidental है.
यार मतलब
there is what, it's an identity thing, right? Like I'm not a YouTuber. I
don't think a timeline is the right way to, you know, be like,
I would say that because secondly,
Khushwant
Singh was not a comic. Khushwant Singh was a comedian. Understand the difference. A comic is a guy who goes on stage and
when did Khushwant Singh become a comedian?
Because throughout, right? Because it was across the format he was funny. See, the YouTuber, okay, will rely on humor. YouTube, the word YouTuber implies format within itself. Just like the word comic implies format within itself. When you say stand-up comedian or comic, that means somebody who goes on stage. That's my core competency. That's always going to be my core strength. Everything else I can develop. Maybe 3 years from now, I'll be like, oh, I'm not comedian Akash Mehta. Okay, I'm YouTube star fan base.
I don't know. Like seriously, like a YouTuber can become a comic at any point in time. A comic can become a YouTuber at any point in time. So I think that because now we have all of this equipment, we have all of these things, why not crossover?
I think I have the answer for this question. And there's no reason to not cross over. I'm not going to say against crossing over.
I mean, you're doing PUBG and stuff, right? Exactly.
No.
That's a YouTuber thing.
Also. And you are commenting Susu underneath also.
I was promoting your video. I was promoting your video.
Yeah, आदमी मेरे stream में आके बोलता है, if you like Akash's video, say Susu. तो सब लोग ऐसा Susu.
No, it wasn't that simple. It was something. It was like.
Sorry, it was way more complicated than that.
It was far more complicated. It was like if you love Akash Susu.
Oh, sorry.
I don't remember.
I missed it. I apologize. तो इसमें कोई ये है ही नहीं ना, प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है ना. तो तेरा काम ही, see, what you identify with yourself depends on who is talking about you.
Yeah.
I think what I can give you as a definitive difference is that it's about craft. It's just a different craft. Being on YouTube, like I keep trying to tell people that stand-up comedy and stand-up video are two different art forms. You have to acknowledge them as two different art forms.
So this thought actually came to me when you asked me about the whole afternoon session and you getting irritated about why someone else is there.
Yeah.
Because for me right now, the next step is I've spent a lot of money in all of this equipment, which actually has come from all the shoots that have happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's created that cycle.
Yeah.
So I'm actually trying to find newer avenues where I can make use of all of these by making comics into YouTubers.
Fine, we'll record the rest at Habitat.
Wherever, dude. I don't care where you record it, as long as...
You want me to be a YouTuber, I will be a YouTuber for you.
That's what I...
But I will not take your last name.
You can do whatever.
I'm sorry.
I'll take your last name.
There's no reference here for this joke. I'm sorry, I don't think the episode can end there. Or maybe it can, because it's Akash and friends. And he's my friend. And we got inside jokes. No, we can't.
My last name is Friend officially.
Balraj Singh Friend. Why is that the funniest thing that has happened in the last 45 minutes? Why?
That's how we are as people, dude.
Yes, we are. We are not the best people. But we are the best company.
On that note.
Yes, see you, man. You're taking me to Habitat only now, if you don't mind. Thanks a lot. We have to catch a plane to the rickshaw. So, we'll see you next time. Thank you for logging in. You should definitely check out more from the Habitat at Indie Habitat. That's them on the Instagram, and on YouTube also there is a Habitat channel. Balraj, do you want to give your stuff, like your credentials as well?
My credentials are simple.
Like your Instagram stuff?
Yeah, please don't follow me. You should follow
Lasoon
Live. Guys, Lasoon Live is the place where you find all your Lasoon.
Yeah.
In life.
It's true. Uncut, so it's still alive.
Yeah. And Habitat is too much out there. I don't care about it anymore.
Branding.